Hello and welcome back to part 6 of the truck tutorial. In this part of the tutorial, what we're going to be doing is, as you can see, we still have a very blocked out outline here. And we're going to get into the further details on the truck. And when we're done, you'll start to see really a lot of the curves and everything that the truck actually has. So just getting into a lot, more minute details there. So to start out with, I'm just going to go into the left side of the truck here and tab into edit mode. Let me turn on my screencast keys just in case anybody needs to see what I'm doing there. Okay, and I'm going to Z into wireframe mode. And what we're looking at is, say for example, the hood here. We're going to start getting these vertices to conform to the actual truck shape a lot more than what it's doing right now. So, in fact, we'll start on the hood. And I'm just going to B-select these vertices. Actually grab those two just to keep them in line. And just move them over. And I'm just using G to move these vertices around. Okay, so already you can see we're starting to get a nice definition there. Let's come down here to the bumper. And let's grab these, move them closer to the edge there. Also these here. And I'm going to go into face mode. And I don't think we really need these here because it's kind of empty there. So going to delete those. Go back into vertex mode. I'm going to grab these and move it up to kind of fit with that line. Grab these and move them down to kind of fit with that line. Go ahead and grab these and move them up. So we can grab this one and do kind of like that. Actually, maybe more like that. Same thing with this, bring it up. And then we can take this whole line, just move it over a little bit. Grab this whole line, move it over to that. And move this one over there. And then I'm not sure what the bottom of this bumper thing is here, but I'm going to go ahead and extrude this down like that. And grab those two, extrude this out. And I'm going to scale this down, but I only want to scale in the Z and Y axis. I don't want the X, so I'm just going to hit X and then Shift X. And I'll show you why we're doing that in a little bit when we get up here to the top of the lip of that. In case you don't know. So just conform that to there. So basically we just want to make sure that these vertices are conforming to the shape. Oops. Make sure I grab all that geometry behind there. And if you're, really comfortable with this part, then you may want to just go ahead and do this and skip ahead. That's all I'm going to be doing in this part of the tutorial, but there are a few little bit of tricky parts, but not much. So. I'm going to grab all of this right here and just bring it down closer to where that fender is at. And probably grab this and bring it up to where that line's at. Okay, and coming up and looking at the windshield. Going to get this closer to where it should be. And there's the top of the window. I'm going to use this line. This line should be a little bit lower. About right there. And same thing for this one. Top of the roof there. Okay, so now I'm going to take this part and I'm just going to extrude kind of halfway, and I'm going to scale again, but I'm only going to scale again on the Z and Y axis. So S, Shift, X. Oops, what did I do? Not sure what I did. S, Shift, X. So basically excluding scaling along the x-axis, because if I just scaled it down, let me just show you real quick. If I scaled it down, it would also scale it inward on both of these sides, and we don't really want that. So that's why I'm doing that way. Extrude, extrude all the way out. Same thing, scale, Shift X, and something like that. Okay, and grab this here and move that down a little bit. Okay, and let's look at this little part of the cab here. Get this a little bit closer. Maybe even add another loop cut right there. By the way, if you have a vertex and you want to move it along the line, you don't want to just kind of freehand move it, but move it exactly along that line. I can't do it with this one because I have all of them selected, but if you have just one selected, you could do I think it's Shift V. Oh, will it let me do all of them? Wow, it did. I thought it was only one that it let you do that. But yeah, Shift V, and you can actually move them along the line that you're next to instead of trying to guesstimate. So just a little bit of information there. And the reason you see me moving more than a group of vertices like that is I just want them to kind of keep in a nice flowing pattern there. You don't really want to stress out the distance between your vertices. Like say if I grab this one, I moved it all the way down here, and you got this kind of really stressed area. You want to keep them nice and smooth if you can, smooth flowing as much as possible. I mean, it's not always possible, but you want to do it as much as you can. And I think I can get away with this being the bottom of the window. I think it was supposed to be the bottom of the window. So anyway, I'm just going to move this one down, grab these two, actually all these here. Just move those down so that can be the bottom of the window. Okay, we also have the outline of this door here. So need to grab probably at least this much, move those over. Deselect that one, move it over. Okay, and interestingly enough, we still don't have the top of the door there. We just have this top of this line here. So we'll need to add some geometry in there. So I'm going to go ahead and add a loop cut for the top of the door. We're going to need a loop cut for this part of the door as well. But before I do that, I just want to continue on this part of the door, make sure I got it squared away. And this will be okay for the bottom of the door. I think we can drag this down with no problems. And I'm going to grab this geometry here and just move it over because I need this room for the edge of the door there. Fix that little area. Okay, so now I can do a loop cut, and it's almost where it needs to be. Pretty close. Go in here and just tweak a few things. Oops. How do I have extra geometry there? Okay, this is going all the way back, and that is not good because that fender does not go all the way back. So what we'll need to do, well, we'll see that in the front view. That's got to be fixed. Okay, so come over here and move this in a little bit, I think is what it's doing. Kind of hard to tell what it's doing there, but or maybe it is flat. It's okay, I'll leave it that way. Alright, so that kind of does the front side. I'm going to look at the back here, add an edge loop and just move it over here so I can take this and just kind of get that. I'm going to take this whole piece right here, move it down a little bit. Okay, so that's kind of the side. You can see now, if we look at the side view, we are getting even better definition. We're starting to get a curve here for our wheel well. doesn't look quite right, but we can fix that. Okay, and this is also, of course, where your artistic nature comes in. I mean, you can start to really sculpt some of the way the truck looks just by the way you think it should look. Or, I mean, of course, we're going by the reference picture, but also you can rely on what you know the truck should look like, if that makes any sense. Probably not, but anyway. So that's the side view. We're going to go into the front view, and we're going to do kind of the same thing. Actually, we are going to do the same thing. So I'm just going to start from the bottom again, and need to move this over. But what you have to be careful of is, of course, the picking up vertices that you don't want to pick up in the back. In the case of this bumper, it's not too bad because there's nothing really behind this except for that, which we don't need. Move those over. Okay, same thing up here. May have to end up adding some geometry in there, but probably not. And then come up here. Move that over. That down. That down. Okay, I think this is probably going to be the, or should be the front of the hood. Let's see. Yep, that's the very front. So just want to move that down a little bit. And what we're going to have to do here is, as you can see, this hood is coming straight forward, and really what's going to happen is all of this part here, let me go into solid mode so you might be able to see it better. All this area here is going to come forward, and so of course the hood is going to be at an angle coming forward that way. That's where the top view comes in handy, but unfortunately we don't have a top view, so we're going to have to kind of try to get that as correct as we can. In fact, let's go ahead and move that over, because that's going to be well, how is that going to work with the top of the hood? Let's see. Well, really here it shows it only going over here this far. So probably it looks like the fender in the front sticks out a lot more than what I figured it would. But still, you can't have this right here because you have the door and all that's got to be straight. So I guess probably what's going to happen is this part is going to move in some, and this part is going to move out some. So that's a little bit more than what we need to handle right now. We'll do that in one of the later tutorials, or one of the later parts of the tutorial. But let's go ahead and we can go ahead and fix this curve right here. Okay, I guess that should be the whole part of the truck there that comes back. Yeah, don't really want that. Yeah, there might be a lip there. But if there is, it's probably also going to be this edge here. So let's grab that one. I don't know, I get the feeling I'm kind of making a mess here with this, but again, that's what the reference pictures are for. You know, we go back and make sure that we're doing the correct thing as far as the shape of the truck and everything. But anyway, so far, if we look at the completed truck, we're definitely starting to get a little bit more of a actual truck instead of a block truck. So I think in the next tutorial what I'll do is I will tackle this area here so that we get this correct, because that is a major part of the shape and it needs to be fixed really badly before this truck even starts to get off the ground. So we'll do that. So I'll see you in the next tutorial. Thanks for watching.